Hi guys, my name is Kyle August and I'm going to help you manifest your specific person in the absolute quickest and easiest way possible. And like always, with anything that we use in these videos, you can use for literally any manifestation that you want. But I do specialize specifically in specific person manifestations. Today I wanted to discuss how your internal state is actually more important than anything else, anything around you, anything in your external reality. Your internal state is a billion times more important. Now, you may already know this, right? In order to manifest something in your external reality, you do want to get into the state, which is that wish fulfilled state, meaning that you already have exactly what you want. But the reason I bring this up is that many times we'll accidentally fall out of actually putting our external reality on a higher pedestal than our internal state, basically worrying more about our external reality than what is happening internally. But like always, we need to remember that our external reality is just a mirror that is reflecting what is happening inside of us. Our feelings, our beliefs, those are being projected, and the more we attempt to change our reflection in the mirror by breaking the mirror, the more frustrated we are going to become. So whenever you do see something in your external reality, that you don't like, you always focus on you to change it. You don't try to go out and force anything outside of you to change. You focus internally, you change that internal state, and you see what you desire get reflected. Like that same metaphor I just mentioned about the mirror, if you look into a mirror, you always have to look at yourself in order to change that reflection. Now, sometimes you can get confused in manifestation of looking into that mirror and thinking, this is really my image. But it is your image, just a reflection of your internal state. Now, I did want to discuss a specific idea that comes with manifesting a specific person, of which you actually begin to take yourself out of the state and focus more on your external reality. And it actually came up in one of my coaching sessions today, so I really wanted to discuss this. So imagine you and your specific person have a date that's kind of up in the air. So this Friday, you two talked about meeting up, but it was never guaranteed. When it comes up to that date, how do you think you would be feeling? Do you think you would be nervous? Do you think you'd be worried? You'd be constantly wondering, is this going to happen? Is it not? Maybe you message them and they don't message back. But at this point, remember, we are now, since we're feeling really anxious, really worried, really uneasy, we have now put our external reality on a pedestal because we are basically taking a loss of our internal state to focus on our external reality, right? We're worrying more about this state, putting ourselves into a higher state of anxiety, into a higher state of worry, not feeling the best, only because we are hoping and wishing that this thing is going to occur. So at this point, and I've gone through the same thing in the past, like I've took in the hard way and I'm giving you guys the easy way out right now. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. Anytime I have ever found myself in this state, so thinking or assuming, hoping something is going to happen, it does not make me feel good internally. And I'm sure you guys have gone through something exactly like this. And what I have found is in those instances, if I allow my external reality to make me feel this way, if I allow myself to have anxiety, if I allow myself to be worried, and I continue with that, again, putting my external reality on a pedestal over my internal state, I have found it has never once worked out in my favor. So when I've been doing that, it's because, but before I go on, the reason, and I won't say never, because again, it's all about beliefs, but most of the time it has not worked out in my favor. And that's because my internal state is being affected. I'm worried, I'm anxious, I'm becoming this insecure version of myself that I don't necessarily want. But I have found the cheat code for this, and I'm going to tell you guys right now. If you ever find yourself in this state, so something is about to happen, you're kind of anxious about it, you're kind of worried about it. Maybe it's a date with your specific person, maybe it's your 1-year anniversary, whatever it is, and you find yourself in that worried state. Take a moment and think of this video and think, okay, I care more about my internal state than I do this thing occurring, right? Do you care more about being happy, positive, abundant, living in that wish fulfilled state? Or do you care more about this date and feeling worried, anxious, having anxiety? Right? When put that way, the choice is obvious. Always choose your internal state no matter what. You could never do wrong by choosing your internal state, right? So in this case, I'll tell you exactly what I do in this situation. And if you do the same thing, you're going to have positive outcomes. Every time I've been in that state and I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to stop worrying about this thing. I'm almost going to pretend as if it's not happening because I care more about my internal state. I took my focus off of my external reality, quit focusing on outcomes because, again, that's the how or when your manifestation is going to show up in your reality. Took my worry off of that, gave it to my subconscious mind, and thought, I care way more about my internal state than I do anything outside of me. I care more about the feeling of the wish fulfilled than I do going on this date, right? Because the date isn't technically what you want. You want the relationship with your specific person. But we allow our logical mind to convince us that this date is the most important thing to our outcome, right? We convince ourselves of that. But if you copy this same idea, and when you find yourself in that state, focus internally and realize you care more about your internal state than you do anything outside of you. When I have done that, I've always seen the outcome work in my favor. So in this case, let's say you do have a date with your specific person on Friday. You find yourself going into this state. You remember this video and you remember my advice and you go, okay, I actually do care about my internal state way more than I do this date. I'm going to focus on me. Whatever happens, happens. Kind of like detaching or letting go from that manifestation. In that case, you can see things move around, things will change in your external reality in ways that you could not even imagine. I can't guarantee you because it depends on your internal state, but I guarantee you if you do this, your outcome occurs in the way that you want or in a way that you couldn't even imagine. So I've seen this same thing happen. I've been anxious towards a date or whatever it is I was trying to manifest, pulled myself out of it, but actually been told that it's not happening. So you have a date this Friday, your SP says we can't hang out. You realize you're putting a lot of anxiety, worry onto this. Focus on your internal state. You will see your SP text you back and say, oh, actually, my meeting got canceled. I got out of work early. I can make it to the date. Literally, you will see that when you focus internally, you get that same thing reflected. If you're feeling anxious, worried, having anxiety, you get that reflected. If you are, again, in that wish fulfilled state, already done, really focusing on you, putting yourself first and your internal state, you see that reflected. Now, I really want you guys, anytime this has happened, literally think of this video and literally act it out. And you're going to see amazing, awesome, cool, fantastic, spectacular things happen. I can't even describe the amazing things that you'll get from this. And it's so easy too. And it's funny because this idea, I guarantee that you guys already know. I guarantee that this is something you've heard of. Oh, of course, if you're in the law of assumption, you know that you focus on your internal state. But how often do we actually implement it? And how often do we accidentally find ourselves in a situation just like this, where we begin to put our external reality above our internal state? Because when we're doing that, we are never going to get into that wish-fulfilled state. We're worrying on our 3D. We're basically, just like Neville Goddard said, to turn your back on your senses, we're doing the opposite. We're fully allowing everything in our 3D reality to persuade us, to alter us. We're at the mercy of things happening outside of us. But if we can pull that back in, focus on our internal state, you will see amazing things happen. So hopefully this helped you out today. Try this out. Let me know in the comments if you try it out, the amazing successes you're going to get. You can also reach out to me on my website, kyleaugustcoaching.com. I'll leave it right here. Or check out my TikTok, which is Manifestation Man. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Check out my other content. I'm all about manifesting in the absolute quickest and easiest way possible. But with that, turn on notifications. I've been trying to upload a video every single day. But with that, that's all. Make sure to reach out. Tell me your successes. Go to my website and tell me your successes that you're having with your specific person. But with that, I'll see you guys next time.